Hey everyone, Elina here, COO at AKM. I get this question every single day. Should we scale our ad spend or should we optimize what we already have? Most brands get this decision completely wrong. They scale when they should optimize and optimize when they should scale. But today I'm going to give you the exact framework we use to make this decision for 100 million plus brands. Now, let me start with a story that'll probably sound a little familiar. A brand comes to us spending 200K a month, 2.1 ROAS, wanting to scale to 500K a month. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, wrong. After I audited their numbers, I found they had a 95-day cash conversion cycle, a 12% contribution margin, and a 180-day customer payback period. They wanted to scale, but they should have been optimizing. Scaling would have killed them. That's why it's so important to keep informed. Let's jump straight in then and go into the decision framework. Here's the exact framework we use. Phase 1 is what I call the foundation check. Before you even think about scaling, these must be true. Your customer payback period must be under 90 days, your cash conversion cycle must be under 75 days, and your contribution margin should be over 20%. You should have positive cash flow for 3 months or more. If any of these are false, you should be optimizing first. Now, let's go into phase 2. Performance stability. Your current performance must be stable. So your ROAS variance should be under 20% week to week. Your CAC should be trending flat or down. You should have no major creative fatigue and you should have constant delivery rates. So phase 3 is what I like to call capacity assessment. Can you actually handle more volume? Inventory levels for 90 plus days. So do you have at least 90 days worth of stock? Customer service should be able to handle 2 times the volume. That way your fulfillment won't break if your orders suddenly doubled. Also, your cash flow should be able to support your growth. Do you have enough financial runway to support that level of growth? Now, let's look at it on the flip end. When should you optimize instead of scale? Here's a rule. If your foundation isn't strong, don't then pour fuel onto the fire. Let's talk about scenario number 1, efficiency problems. Your ROAS is declining month on month, your CAC is rising faster than your LTV, and your contribution margins are shrinking, and your creatives aren't performing like they used to. Well, these are not scaling problems, they're an optimization problem. Here's a real world example. So I was working with a brand spending 150K a month. Their ROAS dropped from 2.8 to 2.2 over 3 months. They thought that scaling would make up the difference, as most people do. But I told them no. We need to fix the leaks first. We then optimized, we improved their ROAS, we got it to a 3.1 and then scaled profitability. The lesson here is don't scale in chaos. Fix it first, then grow. I've seen far too many brands crash and burn or suffer for months on end because they tried to scale when they should have been optimizing. Scenario number 2, cash flow issues. This one's fairly simple. If the cash isn't there, scaling will only make it worse. Here's what to look for. So your cash conversion cycle is over 75 days. Your inventory is turning less than 6 times a year. Your payback period is over 90 days and you're running on a negative operating cash flow. If any of those sound familiar, trust me when I say you don't need more volume. You need to fix your cash engine first. Scenario number 3, operational constraints. Even if the money looks good, can your operations actually keep up? If your customer response times are creeping up past 24 hours, if your fulfillment delays are increasing, and if your return rates are climbing whilst your quality complaints are piling up, that's not inefficiency, that is a warning. So scaling at this point doesn't just break the business, it destroys your customer experience. The rule here is if your cash or operations can't keep up, do not scale. Fix the bottleneck first. Trust me, it will come back to haunt you if you don't. When should you scale instead of optimize? So let's talk through scenario number 1, one with a strong foundation. So all your key metrics are healthy, your performance has been stable for 60 days or more, you're seeing clear demand signals in the market, and you've got the operational capacity to handle more volume. Scenario 2 is if you see a market opportunity. Seasonal demand is approaching and you want to capture it, or you've spotted a competitor weakness you can take advantage of, or you've got a new product launch ready to go, or lastly, if you see an opportunity for expansion in the market. Scenario 3 is an efficiency plateau. So you've been optimizing for a while and your returns are diminishing, or your performance is stable and solid and now you're ready for that next growth phase. The takeaway is if your foundations are strong and your performance are steady, that's when the opportunity is clear. You can go ahead and scale. Now let's talk about the scaling process. Here's exactly how you do it without breaking your business. Step 1 is test small. Start by increasing spend by 20 to 30%. Monitor every key metric closely and make sure your performance holds as spend increases. Then double check that your operations can actually handle the extra volume. Step 2 is scale gradually. If things look good, increase spend by no more than 25 to 50% per month. Keep a close eye out for efficiency drops, track how these increases impact your cash flow, and maintain the same quality standards that your customers expect. Step 3 is monitor closely. Check your performance daily, review your cash flow weekly, and do a full analysis every month. Then make sure you are conducting a strategic review every quarter to make sure you're still on track. Scaling isn't actually about pushing harder, it's about scaling smart so your growth actually sticks. Now let's walk through the optimization process. This is how you fix your problems before you scale. Step 1 is diagnosing the problem. Start by identifying the root cause of your issues. Then prioritize them by impact. What's hurting the business the most? Make sure you're setting clear, measurable targets for improvement, and then create a timeline so that the work actually gets done. Step 2 is fixing it systematically, addressing the biggest issues first. Don't get distracted by the small stuff. Test changes methodically instead of throwing spaghetti at a wall. You'd be surprised at how many people do. And then don't forget to measure the impact carefully so you know exactly what's working. And surprisingly, one that businesses tend to forget is document everything. What you tried, what worked, and what didn't. Step 3 is validating improvements. Confirm that these metrics have actually improved. Then make sure that the changes are sustainable and not just quick wins. Stress test your systems to see if they hold under pressure. And once you're confident, prepare for scaling. Now let's talk about the common mistakes. Mistake number 1, scaling too early. If your foundational metrics aren't solid, your performance isn't stable, your operations aren't ready, or your cash flow can't handle it, scaling will break you. Mistake number 2 is optimizing too long. If you keep tinkering even when returns are diminishing, you'll miss market opportunities, accept stagnation, and give away your competitive advantage. Mistake number 3, measuring the wrong things. I hate to break it to you guys, but vanity metrics don't tell you if your business is healthy. If you ignore your cash flow, overlook operational signals, or forget about the customer experience, you're flying blind. The point is, optimize deliberately to avoid these mistakes and you'll be in the perfect position to scale sustainably. The bottom line here is the decision to scale or optimize isn't about gut feeling or arbitrary targets. It's about data, systems, and an honest assessment of your business's health. I've seen brands destroy themselves by scaling prematurely. I've also seen brands miss huge opportunities by over-optimizing. The key is to have a framework and stick to it. If you want help applying this framework to your business, hit the link below. Our team does free audits and I'll walk you through exactly where you stand. Remember, growth without foundation is just expensive failure. That's all from me. Happy scaling, happy optimizing. Have a good one, guys.